That was a fast pause of the music. And I
Yeah.
mean, I clicked the button to like do the nice fade in and fade out, and of course it decided it doesn't want to. And now we're gonna actually show ourselves. So, hello everybody! It is
Hell,
Wednesday. Thanks for joining us for another Savage Universe stream. Savage Universe is savageuniverse.com, and our streams are all about everybody who's an ACE, a licensee, or a SWAG, Savage Worlds Adventures Guild producer. So all the folks who produce Savage Worlds materials, whether it's modules, games, books, blogs, streaming, actual plays, all that good stuff, but who is not Pinnacle Entertainment. And to celebrate the 5th year of our Savage Worlds Adventures Guild program and the amazing SWAGtember, we have creator and organizer Alb joining us. Welcome, Alb.
just saying, I'm not the organizer. That's Zadmar. I'm just here to talk about it. I'm more for the Fast Furious February thing, but I'm here because he couldn't be here tonight, so I'm just making sure that people talk about SWAGtember. But I'm not the
Constant
one. I'm
supporter.
not the mastermind behind it all. That's Zadmar. I don't want to steal his thunder.
Right there you go. Yes, Jadmar is super generous with his time and his expertise and all the great stuff you can pick up on Swag um, from the incomparable Richard Wilcock. So I mean, as long as we're before we get to Swag Temper, so tell us, how did Fast Furious February go this year?
It was the first year that was pretty awesome. We had a bunch of cool submissions. I'm already working on next year's theme as well, so to be sure that we have just as much fun as we had last time. So yeah, it was beyond expectations. Maybe not as big as I would have dreamed of, but it was much more than was I was hoping for.
Awesome. Well, we hope to get even more this next February, and we'll get folks. I think it was pretty awesome just how many folks actually stepped up and created new material for it. That was very
Mhm.
cool to see. And
We were flexible. Some of the stuff was already supposed to be published around February, so we included them. We are not forcing people to publish something that started the 1st of February.
I love the logo you had done for it. Super cool. Great art on that.
That's my contribution. Yes.
So, for folks who haven't gotten in on Swagtember before, why don't you give us a little background? What is Swagtember?
First, what is Swag? It's a community content project. Anyone can produce a Swag product. It can be half a page, it can be 30 pages, it can be 300 pages if you want. It's a digital only product that's available on Drive Through, where you keep the vast majority of the sales is yours to keep, and it's there's very few rules. You can check them in the licensing tabs. Do you have a link to Savage Universe where
I,
there's
let's see. So here we go. Here is the drive-through link for Swag. So folks want to go check that out immediately. They can go see what's available on there. That link will take you to the Swag program, where a kind of a little landing page explains what it is, how you start publishing, and then right below it's the hottest new titles from. Well, it shows peg titles, and then it shows licensee titles, and then the hottest Swag titles. And then I'll get up the link here for Savage Universe, so you guys can visit there. And
so that, yeah, that's very easy. It's you don't have to be that good. You just need the limited ability to self edit and make layouts that appear not that's not that ugly, but anyone can publish. And every September we make a big bundle. We call it Swagtember. Anyone that produced anything for Swag and is a member of the unofficial Savage World Discord can participate. We make sure that we collaborate and share all the information necessary on the Discord. So you need to be part of the Discord, and we make a big bundle with one product each that we want to share for the people, and usually that's one of the biggest sales of the year for many of us. People wait for Swagtember to get a lot of products at the same time, and usually a very good product as well.
Well, that's another thing too. Like John Doom mentions that the if you've gotten a SWAGtember bundle before, I mean it's a great price regardless. But if you've got it before, you don't have to rebuy the things you've already purchased. So you're only doing the additional add-ons each year.
I think you need to buy it every year. That's something that needs to be bought every year, I think. And it's only for a limited time,
Okay.
unless I'm mistaken. But that's if I remember correctly, you need to it's available for 1 month during the year, and you need to buy the new stuff every year. But it's still very
Oh
cheap, very good deal.
yes, but it gives you the discount for the stuff that's already been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I thought if you already bought the bundle last year, but if you, for example, you had three or four of the stuff already, you don't have to buy them again. They're refunded for you, so you only have to pay the part that you don't own.
Yes. It's not a one-time subscription.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have to purchase every year, but you get the discount for all the things that were included in previous SWAGtembers if you purchase those as well. So there we go. That's the ticket. So yeah, if you guys haven't been before, SavageUniverse.com is your home for all things Savage Worlds Adventure Guild, for the Aces, for the Media Network. And so under the swag tag at the top, you can check out they're recently published. And then you could just see like the diversity of really cool things folks are publishing. We've got looks like more weird westerns. We've got a like European fairy tales. We've got a magic setting, something for a mana beast, journal sheets for game masters, a hideout. Looks like it's a map, and Panhandle Dust Bowl adventure. So you can just see like just like kind of the diversity of things that are really, really creative from all the folks who are publishing for the swag program. Really helpful. And look at the prices. These are very, very inexpensive to get you in for a lot of these. And then hopefully for SWAGtember, it'll be an even bigger, more fun bundle. Pretty easy there. Other things, as long as we got Savage Universe up, the news tab will show you similar for new publications that are kind of up and any kind of other events that are going on. The Aces is where you can check out folks who are officially licensed to produce books in the Savage World setting. So you can kind of read up about each of the Aces, and you can see there's a whole bunch of Aces. You can go and visit their websites, more information on them. Obviously, Swag shows the recent Swag publications. Our calendar feature kind of shows any kind of publications and or the Media Network stuff that's up. So under the Rainbow Happy Checks RPG, they have an episode up. There's a Lost Colony, Colony of the Damned, actual play. So all the kind of fun stuff you can check out. A lot of the more current live plays, actual plays, blogs, and what is it called when you talk into a microphone but you're not on camera?
A podcast?
There we go. No one would know that we're running a Kickstarter right now.
I can say it in French. If you were looking for the French word, it's the balado. Yeah, that's it.
There we go. Exactly. Perfecto. That's not French. One of the
no, that's not.
I should learn that is not. But the and then on the Media Network, there's also a feed. So if you want to go check out different major channels like Tabletop Tango, these folks are great. We're going to be on for their 2,000th subscriber celebration next month. A lot of fun. So all these folks are kind of doing a lot of great Savage Worlds content. So definitely do come check them out. And under Get Involved, as I've said before, it explains the difference between the fan license, the swag. So you can read here all the information you need to know, starting here about swag. If you're a MediaNet producer, you can read up about the Media Network. And then if you want to become an ace, you can find out how to apply to become an ace, kind of what the different stipulations are there, what things you sign away. It's not much. It's a very generous program, and all that kind of good stuff. And so SavageUniverse.com to find out about all of this. And we look forward to folks being more active on the Aces and Media Network and Adventures Guild. So Al, why don't you tell us, like, what has your experience been publishing with the Adventures Guild?
It was a Hail Mary for me because listen to my voice. I'm not in English as a first language. It's more as a second language. So it's like a dream of every role player out there to publish their own stuff. I saw an opportunity. I tried it. I had experience with fan stuff. I've made a bunch of fan stuff before, and I knew I was able to have a trade dress that was passable, and I tried it out. That's very, very simple. I was expecting much hassle. The because I think I was at the right time at the right moment with my product, which was inspired by Saturday morning cartoons. There was an appetite for that. I had an incredible response by people who were waiting for the release. I didn't have to hype it up too much on the social media, and I basically had a success story overnight. I had a bunch of medals in matter of days or weeks, and I had this year the 1,000 sales. So I think it's
Oh, congratulations! That's awesome.
I'm not remember the name. Let me just check. The platinum bestseller platinum for the product. So yeah, that was really unexpected. Like that was maybe something I hoped for, but really not something I was expected. So anything's possible as long as you have a good idea. People will be there to buy it, and if nobody buys it, don't fret. Don't worry about it. That's I have products that are very not as popular as this one. So just remember that even if you have only 50 sales, you're better than 90% of all the sales on drive through.
That's right.
So that's something that's wonderful because you mustn't look at it as a job. Don't quit your day job for it.
It's true.
But it opens up opportunities as a person to write and be able to be read by people. That's something that's a special that's a special feeling to know that people are reading you and even playing games based on what you created. So that's a feeling I hope I more people can try because it's very that easy to you don't need to have a publisher, you don't need to have a printer, you don't need to have any of those sorts. Just have a PDF creator on hand and there you go. You can publish it.
So, describe how you kind of grown in the community by one stepping up and actually publishing, and then two helping organize and organizing these awesome kind of swag events.
Well, that's one of the good thing about Discord is anyone can chime in and discuss ideas. We usually quite open. Sometimes we love to argue. I think we love to discuss, break apart each other's ideas, see that what's not working, so see what's working. So sometimes it's hard to be a part of that because you come in with the good ideas and you feel that the first thing that people tell you about is what's not working on your idea. But the thing is it comes from a place of love because what we're not discussing, what we don't say that should be changed, or have you tried something like this, or have you watched that other thing that might be what you're looking for. That what we're not talking about is the good parts, and you should remember that when we discuss something that's usually because we think that's a good idea and it can be improved. So that's the first step when you start to discuss an idea on the Discord, is to accept that your idea will be torn apart by the others, but that's to make it a little bit better, and that's how we all started in a sense. And I say the language barrier is a problem as well because I have trouble understanding some of the subtext sometimes. So when I discuss ideas, maybe I'll take stuff on the first degree, and that wasn't what people were expecting. But yeah, I lost trail of what I was about trying to say, I think.
No, it's all good. So, I mean, as long as we got you talking about it, I mean, it would be silly of us not to throw up the link for Big Apple Sewer Samurai,
Yeah.
which is your platinum bestseller, which is amazing.
Yep.
So, give us a talk. What is Big Apple Sewer Samurai?
That's a love letter to all the cartoons from the 80s and the 90s. So stuff like DuckTales, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Gargoyles, Cyber Six, stuff I never heard about that people told me it was also very good toolbox to translate stuff like Biker Mice from Mars or the Lone Star. Is that the one with in space with the talking horse?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So it's if you have a cartoon that you love and want to savage it, that's a perfect toolbox for you because you have plenty of character options. You have setting rules that are designed to make you feel like you're in a cartoon, where stuff like tests have a big importance in Big Apple Silver Samurai, and you have because usually when cartoons are fighting, they are really rarely punching each other. They're more like throwing stuff at each other, saying insults or taunting people, rather than really fighting. So that's what it's trying to emulate, and it has a mini setting in it as well. So if you don't want um, to create your own setting or use an already existing IP, you can use the one in it, which is basically New York, somewhere in the 90s or 200s. It's not clear, and you have all sort of weird stuff happening in the sewers, and that's about it. That's the core of it. I'm working on the second supplement for Big Apple Silver Samurai right now. It should be released, I hope, next month, maybe the one after, which is going to explore more of the martial art aspect of the setting, because you usually have ninjas and samurais. It's in the name as well. So I make sure that I have plenty of edges to emulate the martial arts feel, and I'm trying to make sure it's released before the martial arts companion, so I'm not getting all my ideas stolen before, or if at the very least I can say I wrote them first.
Nice.
So that
Smart.
that's a that's about it. That's Big Apple Silver Samurai in a nutshell.
That is fantastic. And the I think while we're at it, let me pull up last year's SWAGtember just so folks can
Mm-hmm.
kind of get an idea of yes, Zoe, pop on the Discord. They're very, very friendly over there and super helpful for new Savage Worlds creators, and you'll fit right in. So yeah, I think we've got I'll show our news briefing from last year's SWAGtember, just so folks can get an idea of just like how much cool stuff
Mm-hmm.
ends up being in these bundles. So I think the last year was SWAGtember 4, and
Yep.
this year would be 5. But I mean, you just see the it was $30 last year, which was like a 65% savings, and more than 30 products. So there was Jacob Objeski had 52 NPCs. Gaming with Gage had a product in there. All again had Big Bad Wolf, which is Big Bad Wolf the supplement for
Yep.
Big Apple Storm Survive?
Yeah, that was my first supplement. I think I have a second one as well, which was Here Be Dragons, which was kind of experimental stuff, as in it was medieval fantasy big game hunter having a podcast. So it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Kind of weird is good though. I mean, like, there's so many wonderful gaming niches, and I think that's the best part about the swag program
Mm-hmm.
is you don't have to worry about going to a print book, which would require selling 800 to 1,000 copies, so your idea can come to fruition. Like you can be as niche as you want to be, and just get it out there and kind of find your audience. And Ben Giles did some one sheets for Vermilion the last couple of years. So those are great advertising for his eventual Kickstarter
Yeah.
campaign. And
Vermilion is such a good setting,
right?
and the
Isn't it gorgeous?
art direction is so incredible.
It's
That's one of the best looking book I've seen in a while.
right, and it's just like cut your teeth with some swag, and then become an ace, and just kind of start there and really take off. Of course, Manuel Sams with his cyberpunk setting.
Yep.
He did Hideouts as part of the SWAGtember. Christian Serrano and Jen Sutcliffe had Herbal Alchemy. Great little, I think, it's like a kind of a 1 or 2 pager. You just kind of see the names like Shante Bircher's in here. Adam and his son Mason Lloyd did a Sprawl Runner. So this is the great part. So like Sprawl Runners, obviously, is the kind of cough shadow run for Savage Worlds.
Yep.
And because Manuel is so generous with the setting, he has other people creating content as like sub licensees to him. So they did the Magus Rogues Guide to the Sprawl. So I mean, we just love seeing that kind of cooperation.
There's another one that was released. Yeah, the Guide to the Sprawl. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
But
and so yeah, you could just see like hopefully if you guys are already publishers, Ob did mention because it's getting so big and we'll make sure that everyone gets their time to shine. I think it's like 1 or 2 is hopefully to kind of submit in. So I mean, hey, Ron Blessing's on here. Jan Yetmar is on here with Wand Magic. So you can just kind of see there's some really great products in these bundles. And so you've got time if you want that creative idea. You got a little time. You got like over a month to get cracking to create something new. But also, if you publish something new recently and you're in the swag program, you're welcome to join the Discord, get in touch with Ob or with Richard Wilcock, and they'll help you join the. Do we have a name yet? Has Richard thought of a name of what the SWAGtember 5 is going to be? Do we have the?
No, I don't think we have a name, but it's probably going to be something like SWAGtember 5, the bundle returns, or the bundle strikes back, or something like that.
Nice. That sounds great. So yeah, anything else you want to share with us? You want to cover on the swag program or SWAGtember?
No, I only want to make sure that Raiders of the Lost Swag. I just want to make sure.
You say Christian's name when he shows up in the chat. It's like Beetlejuice.
What I want to say that everyone's welcome, no matter how critical we are. We might sound at first is because we want to make sure that I want to make sure that everyone feels welcome. Sometimes we fail miserably because we're gamers and we like to argue about stuff, but that's not because we want to argue against you. Is we want to argue with you. So that's one of my biggest mistakes in life when I try to discuss with some people. I try to go overboard, but it's not something that I want. I don't want people to feel that they'll not be welcome in the Discord. You are welcome. We want to see your stuff. We want to hear about your ideas. We want to discuss about your ideas with you, anyone. And that's not only for swag authors as well. You can be anyone. You can be a newcomer. You've never tried Savage World. You have questions about rules. You want to find new people to play with. You want to discuss your ideas or your homebrew rules, anything. It's really a place to anything goes. We're going to discuss anything that people want.
Well, and that is actually kind of wonderful. So, I mean, as a person who has never, ever, ever in his entire life ever argued his way out of a friendship, I mean, I was in debate in middle school and high school just to scratch that itch, and I have definitely fallen in that trap. But I think the great thing about the Savage Worlds Adventurers community, the SWAG community, is that it comes from a place of passion.
Yep.
And everyone is very excited about the system, but also very excited to see so many creators kind of beginning their publishing careers out of that fertile ground. And so yes, I think I don't think you don't need thick skin, but it helps if you have it. But I think it is a very kind of it's a productive exuberance and excitement over just seeing how folks who have never published before can suddenly become top sellers on Drive-Thru RPG.
That's wild. That's so wild because I had like a few fan documents to my belt, and now I'm in. Still after 2 years, I'm in 6th position for the hottest Savage World community product.
right? Isn't that's a fake, right? Congratulations! It's just like, you know, and well deserved. And so that I mean, we love seeing that, right? And it's the, you know, folks don't realize we even peg itself as a small community. I mean, you know, a small
Hmm.
company, and we're large community, small company.
Yeah.
And the you know, so there's even if we could license and publish all the wonderful ideas fans have, um, you know, there's just not enough dockets, you know, space in the year for us to be able to do, you know, the
Hmm.
crowdfundings and all that stuff. So you know, it really is great that so many people are keeping Savage Worlds one of the top settings for all sorts of flavors of role playing. I mean, I think you know, it speaks to the great work that Shane and Clint and others have done in building a very good, you know, system that really is able to handle so much so well. But just seeing
I'm
how
so
folks
I'm
have
so
used it.
I'm so old. I remember classic Deadlands playing with a brand new box. So yeah, it's incredible to see how much the Savage World community grew from that original role playing game that we love so much that it became like then the Great World War and finally Savage Worlds. Yeah, that's incredible.
Right, and it's the fact that the you know, you know, being able to have folks. I mean, even our industry itself is still, it's small compared to a lot of other industries, and so you know, it really, it does say something that you know, luck and merit and passion kind of all come together, and folks can get noticed and get seen, and for folks who want to go on to work for other big companies or write for PEG, whatever. It's just, it's a very cool way to get started, and or to just, you know, make sure that, like, have an outlet where you can share the wonderful stuff that you put together, because there's a thing about RPG games is that, like, game masters just do so much work, right? And there's so much creativity that, you know, it feels sad if you do all this work and it only gets to, like, your private table, like with your friends, or if you're a consummate game creator and you don't have a game group. You know, there's this is a great outlet for you, you know, you folks to be able to share that creative spark, that creative energy, to get feedback, to have folks play test it. And I mean, kind of the best thing is seeing, like, Big Apple Sewer Samurai getting played at conventions, right? It's like seeing other
Yeah.
people that you haven't even met. They bought your product, they're playing it, they're having a great time. Yeah, that's my favorite thing is about seeing, like, Buccaneer, when people, like, you know, years after, you know, we haven't come out with anything, you know, a sequel or anything like that, and just seeing people, like, you know, oh, there's a Buccaneer game going on at this local convention, or this, you know, convention over in New York that's, like, you know, 1,000 miles away. Yeah, right. Some of us even prep for games. That's true. Some of us even
Well,
prep for streams. I don't know who those people are, but the
that's the good thing about Savage World, because you said that most of the work is done by the GM, but Savage World is so good to make sure that we don't have that much work to do. I'm we have in my gaming group we have a rotation of GM, so not everyone gets to be a GM if he wants to at some point, and we not only play Savage Worlds. We usually play Savage Worlds for Big Apple Sewer Samurai, and we play other games, mostly French games you probably never heard about, so Dream of Dragons and stuff like that, Venzia and everything. So, and one of the cool thing that I think is how much I can improvise as a GM, because I don't need to have stuff planned out. One of the things that my players love to do is bring me in the wildest places possible, or throw everyone I throw a curveball at me every once in a while. So they want to raid, or they want to make an encounter somewhere I never planned, but it doesn't feel tedious or cheap to do in Savage Worlds, because you always have ideas. At the very least, you have D6 at everything, and that's a cool encounter anyway. So yeah, that's you were talking about time, and that's something that I really really enjoy, because we don't have to prep that much for games. I remember when I was younger and I had time to do so, making sheets of characters for D20 games, and they were killed in a few strikes and never had a time to shine.
but he had a great backstory.
Yep.
Yes, I remember those days. Well, that's the other thing I think that it's really kind of unique that you brought up about, like, you know, the French RPGs.
Yep.
The I don't even know how this has happened, but I think Swag has really demonstrated the wonderful international community of
Yep.
creators. Just the fact that Richard is in Germany, and we've got creators in Canada, we have creators in France. There's a Filipino big community, the Pinoy, that really like to play SavageUniverse. Brazil is really kind of big in game, and they're starting to see creators publish from there. Spain, there's a Portugal. I mean, it's like just seeing the folks who are international, kind of adding to our community, bringing some of the. There are great, like you said, there are great RPGs that are like the Italians. I mean, there's a lot of really great Italian RPGs that just like their style of writing and the stories that they're covering,
Mm-hmm.
and we've seen some of that come into Savage Worlds, and then and some of the translations, and the or as Johnson says, les incompetents, or
Les it's les incompétents. When you have les is the, but when you have more than one, and when you have les with a vowel afterward, you have to pronounce it as a single word. So it's les incompétents. But if it was, for example, not a vowel but a consonant, you pronounce it like les compétents as two different words. Yeah, I'm giving you French lessons at the same time.
I'm digging it. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to hire you for like. So I've got an idea. I don't know if I'll get this one in time for SWAGtember, but I actually have I do have a little thing. Maybe I'll jump in the SWAGtember this year. I got a month. I'll get something published real quick and enjoy it. But I want to do. There's two different ideas. One is French Foreign Legion inspired, and
Okay.
and just doing just all over the French Foreign Legion.
That would be a very good weird word setting. Weird word French Legion. That would be very, very good because you'll have.
It'd be like all the little things like the thing I really like about the French Foreign Legion in actuality is kind of this notion of you kind of you can be running from your former life. You can be a reprobate. You can be someone who wants a new identity, right? And
basically,
you have an excuse of coming from all over the world, or if you're doing weird wars, it can be all over the universe, right? You can really put together a ragtag group of folks, but then you also have this codifying French culture overlay where you're trying to earn your way into being a citizen of France, and the things you would have to do to get your new identity. It makes for really juicy RPG stories. So yes, definitely on the French Foreign Legion. And then the other French idea is kind of Napoleonic, but with like Napoleon meets Star Wars. So if you think about, Napoleon is totally Darth Vader. Like if you look at like just this whole.
Well, it depends on your point of view. It's like Napoleon is seen as a dictator for the French point of view, but he's still a war hero and someone who made sure that the French were recognized as an empire across Europe. So depending on who is looking at, that's the same thing for Vlad the Impaler or Gengis Khan. They're the enemy's monster, but they're their nation's hero. But Napoleon, since he was a dictator and an emperor, he's not that well regarded, but he still has his fans. But I think
I was surprised to hear there's a movie coming out. So I was thinking like, this is gonna be.
There's two movies. I think there's one movie and one TV series. The TV series is going to be from Spielberg with a script from Stanley Kubrick.
Oh wow! I didn't know about. Oh wow! Oh, this is good timing. I need to get on this so I can take.
And there's the movie, but I think the movie is about the part of Napoleon is the French Revolution, or is it his life in? I've seen like half a trailer, so I'm not sure what's the movie going to be about.
It's got Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon in the trailer, and like so in my little world, like a year or two ago when I was kind of like drafting the first part, so I was like, how come Napoleon is not bigger in our kind of cultural consciousness, right? Like it wasn't that long ago. It was huge. It involved all of Europe. It touches on a lot of the kind of major themes, but there hasn't been like huge movies or I guess War and Peace a little bit, whatever. But
Well, you had the Sharp series that was during the Napoleonic War. You had what I agree with you. There's not a lot of stuff, but you had quite a few stuff about Napoleon. Maybe
well, right.
because I have more stuff being able to watch movies in French, because Napoleon is a recurring character in many French movies as well, historic movies. But yeah, big Hollywood movies. He's kind of. A, I think the latest movie I watched him was Bill and Ted. So yeah, that's
yeah. That's the thing. Like, I love the Sharp series, but I mean, it's totally. I mean, it's kind of like the Inquisition. If you think about the way the Inquisition has been positioned, right? Like very similar on like one man's crusader is another man's war criminal, warlord, whatever. A lot of how we get our impression of what the Spanish Inquisition was like is basically like Protestant, a Protestant take on Catholics, right? So it's like there's a reason that it's viewed the way it is. And in the Sharp series, it's like was Sean Bean he was in the film adaptation, but it's like the British take on it, right? It's like the British take on Napoleon versus like the French or a Napoleon-centric take on Napoleon. And,
that's one of the thing I always love to see. I have a love-hate relationship with movies because the French are always the villains in the movie. Right? Like in Knight's Tales, the villain is French. There's I remember one exception when the French were the good guys in a Hollywood movie, and it was a time travel movie. I don't remember the title, but they were coming back in time to save someone, and they end up right in the middle of the 100 Years' War, and the French were the good guys. So it was a refreshing take, but
right.
But usually the French are always the bad guys in the movies. If there's the French, you never, unless it's about Joan of Arc, the French are the bad guys.
I mean, kind of true, right? And it's like also, I mean, John Dew mentions demanding more Napoleon attention. Sounds like a Napoleon complex. Totally true. It's like with the French villains, also just kind of the personality types. Like there's this thing called the Myers-Briggs personality types. And in general, like there's one INTJ, which is considered like the mastermind, and they are almost always in all film like the evil one. So anyone who's like a leader, a rational thinker, and kind of very architectural or whatever in their rationality is always the the Emperor Palpatine of the series, or like the Voldemort or whatever. And totally Napoleon. I'm pretty sure Napoleon would fit in there, but. That's true though, John Doom. Unless they're Germans, then the Germans were Nazis, and there are like no other Germans except maybe Lola Rent, Run Lola Run. To the only like.
I'm trying to think about a movie with the Germans where, well, you have a few movies in World War I where they're not Nazis. We have have you watched the movie Happy Christmas? I don't know if there was translated. It's a movie about the World War I.
Oh, the armistice, like the one.
Yeah, the armistice in World War I between the French. There's three armies: French, Scottish, and German. And one of the things that I always thought was so brilliant about it, at the end, they're a big mass, and the German ones is saying, "I don't participate because I'm Jewish." So that's like a
foreshadowing.
Just to remind, foreshadowing. Yes, exactly. So yeah, unless the Germans are in the movie, then if they are Nazis, they are the bad guys.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous movie. I think Joyeux Noel.
Yeah, that's about as good as you could pronounce it. Joyeux Noël. Yes.
Okay, good.
But I'm pronouncing well. I'm going to say when I talk in French, I'm talking in Québécois. So that's not the same thing as in French from France. So you have difference. We don't use the same intonation. We usually don't pronounce all the words exactly the same, and we have different words that we borrow from the English. So that's one of the funny things we have. We both have English words that we borrow, but not the same ones. So Joyeux Noël. When I say Joyeux Noël, probably a French guy from France will say that I'm not pronouncing it right.
I mean, it's kind of the funny thing about English, right? It's like we almost most Americans, like the percentage of Americans who actually speak fluently a foreign language is like one of the lowest of all developed countries, right? So, right, there's American and then there's English, and some of us speak a little American. Although, actually, here's a pet peeve: unwritten English. I just saw this yesterday. So, not to total divagation, but in American English, if you have a quote at the end of a sentence, the finished sentence, you put the period inside the quote. Apparently, in British English, depending, you do not put the quote at the outside. You put a quote and then put the period at the outside. And so I was sitting there going, like, this is the third time I've seen this today. These people, like, who are their editors? And it turned out I was like reading The Guardian or one of the British newspapers instead.
That would be how I would spell it, I think, in French. You put the apostrophes because we don't have the same. We call them guillemets. They are more. I think I can write it. Can I write it down in French? And I think I'm just going to.
So I think like Americans, we will use the double quotes, and then in British they only use the single.
Well, we have different. Symbols.
The double brackets.
Exactly, the double brackets. And
I don't know how to make it on the keyboard, but like, yes, it looks like that. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That looks like it. So, and on the other side, when you end, and you would put the dots after that, not before.
Okay.
So that's how I would say it in French, but I might be wrong. I'm the kind of guy that's a bit flexible when it comes to punctuation. So I'm probably wrong with parentheses and everything. So same thing in parentheses, you put the dot after the parenthesis, not before. And
yes. So parentheses, period. But quotations, the quotes are the ones that get to escape the period. And as long as it's unless the it's weird. There's like
welcome to English Grammar 101.
I know it is. I know we just opened a can of worms that we don't have the time and I don't have the expertise for. Although I did really well in grammar in middle school, but that was like 30 years ago. So
I'm a Frenchman trying to educate Englishmen as how to write correctly in English. I'm probably much more wrong than you. Don't worry.
Right? Yeah, Zoe. It is. It's period, quotes. Yep. Quotes go on. Yeah. When you end a sentence with a quote, it's the outside. It's true. So so that's another good thing too. So mentioning the Chicago Manual of Style. So here's actually a great thing for folks. Let me go find.
Is that the thing from the Unabomber?
No. That's the manifesto.
No, because there's a manual of style that he used. I watched a TV series with him, and they cut him because of the style of writing he was using, and it was a specific manual of style that was used during a certain period. I think that was I was talking about, but I'm like my knowledge of grammar is based on TV shows and movies, so I'm not a good source.
Yeah, the two biggest ones in America are like the AP and the Chicago Manual of Style, kind of the two go-to, depending on like which, if you're kind of doing news and reporting or whatever. But so here's a hot tip. Let me pull this up on screen. So if you are wanting to write for Savage Worlds, whether you're submitting stuff for Pinnacle to publish, or you're going to go become an ace, or you're working on swag, there is a free style guide. So that's the link below, and I'll actually maybe open up the window so you guys can see the page. So basically, the style guide goes through, it's like a 10-page document, and basically it's free. So you go to that link, you hit download now, you grab the style guide, and it tells you we only use one space after sentences or quotes. There's what terms need to be capitalized. All that kind of stuff. So basically anything you need to know to write for Savage Worlds freestyle guide. That's where it's at.
The one thing I remember from the style guide that's good for everyone, everywhere, all the time, that is a garbage word. 90% of the time you can actually remove it and not use it in a sentence. It will not change a thing. Remove that from your vocabulary.
And I'm one of those people like I have definitely used that 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Or like had 2 times in a row, and it's like, oh geez. So yes. The also yes, like active voice. It's really easy to slip into passive voice when you're writing about gaming. Just no, write an active voice because it sounds more fun and it's more engaging. And welcome Cripright. Yep. SWAGtember. Timber. I'm sure it's not a typo, John Doom, where you're being cheeky. Anyways, guys, so one last thing. So yes, join the Discord. Let me go back and find that link because that's important. Here we go. So join the Discord. That's the easiest way to get in touch with Zadmar, which is the screen name of Richard Wolcott. And he will get you set up to join SWAGtember 5. You can offer your suggested names for whether it's Swag Strikes Back or Children of the Swag or whatever the awesome title they're going to come up with is. But it's a highly successful way to kind of get your product seen in front of the community because a lot of folks will tune in for SWAGtember or the February Jam, Fast Furious Fun February. And it's a great way. It helps boost your sales numbers. All that good stuff. So it's definitely recommended. I think I'm gonna jump in the swag train, and I'll be a swag publisher, and we'll get something in SWAGtember. And
if you need help for French words or French expressions, send me an email. I'll give you the right translations. That's one of the things that bothers me so much when people try to speak in French. They don't bother asking a French guy to reread read them.
You just see the whole butchered.
It's
Google Translate version.
And sometimes it's because it's a literal translation of an expression that's not working in French, or because they're not using the right gender. Because guys and girls, remember, French has genders for everything. A table is a lady table. A chair is a lady chair.
Le chat est sur la table.
You don't pronounce usually when you have a word that can be used as like chat is cat, but you can also say chat, which is a lady cat. It's written already with the letter that's going to help you write it down in as a feminine form. So chat is CHAT, but you don't pronounce the T when it's a guy, but you pronounce the T when it's a girl. So chat, it's le chat est sous la table.
Le chat est sous la table.
Yeah, and if it's a girl, it's la chatte est sous la table. Because now you pronounce the T when it's a feminine version.
John Doom, apparently in Auf Deutsch, the tables are also ladies.
Yeah, and what I know in German, because Germans like stuff to be complicated, you have masculine, feminine, and neutral as a gender in German. So that's not something we have in French. Choose a side.
And I spent all my years on Latin, and no one speaks it, so let's see. Leo lupus vulpes consenseo venare lupus capit answerum. Like there was like a lion, a wolf, and a tiger or something like that go hunting, and one of them catches a ram. Anyways, the Maria Habwet Parva Magnum. That's Mary had a little lamb. That's about the extent. Anyways, so folks, thanks for joining us. I do need to say, usually this is 100% for Ace content, but we have a mere 24 hours left in our Savage World's 20th anniversary celebration Kickstarter. Let me throw you a link just in case you haven't gone over and seen that, because there is right now we need to translate the
wait, what?
Okay, so Zoe knows Clinton, Jody, and so so tables are are feminine in French and German. So now we have to. She's talking about translating the Carolina Game Tables, which is their game table company.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kickstarter, final 24 hours. Reason I bring it up is if you want to get the backpack, campaign exclusive price, grab it as an add-on before the campaign ends. Price is going to go up in the Pledge Manager. And let's see, the only 3 things that aren't part of at least one pledge are the backpack, the skins for the backpack, and the dice tray. So those are all 100% add-ons. If you're not getting the $120 awesome kind of celebratory level, the fantasy cards are not included in print. But otherwise, you grab multiple copies of the players' books. They're just $20. Here's the link to the Kickstarter. And let's see, sight unseen. Let's go see what the actual campaign is doing, because you guys have gone crazy in the final 24 hours. I think it was like 220 something before the stream yesterday. And let's go see where we're at today. And the accessory pack, $25 for the accessories box, which is pretty awesome. That price will definitely be going up at retail, but let's see. We'll do a quick little jump over. Oh, wait, Crip Rate's saying it could hit 300K. Wow. Let's go see where we did. So let's see, share screen, find a tab. Boom. Okay, so right now, oh, wow, we are at 260. So 24 hours left in the campaign. We are at 260,500. Over 2,500 backers. That's amazing. So many folks have jumped on in the last 24 hours. So hit that link. Go check the campaign out. If you haven't seen it yet, the cool new offerings, we're offering players books. They're 160 pages player books. They're in soft cover. They retail for only $20. The pledge is $25, and you get, with that extra $5 for the pledge, you get a player's box. Inside the player's box, there's a whole bunch of fun stuff. I channel kill me for scrolling so fast, but what we want to get in the player's box, there's a card stand, so you can put your action card and put your name on it. There is a journal. There's a fold-out combat options. There's the status cards. There's your advancement tracker. There's card sleeves. We give you one set coming with the player's box for use with the player's box, but not in the player's box. There are edge cards, which have all the edges from SWAGcore, from Deadlands, and if you get the 150 buy-in, you get the fantasy cards too. There's tearaway character sheets, which are super, super hot. You can buy extra those for just $5. There is a special 5th printing celebratory 20 years hardback, which has got a lot of gold on the cover, 2 big bands. The seal is going to be gold. There's going to be embossing, debossing. There's going to be ribbons, and then the gilt on the edge of the pages, which is pretty cool. There are 5 variant covers of the new player's book. The awesome one, which has got like an undead dragon.
That's the last one that was unknown until yeah, okay. I haven't watched it. I haven't seen it yet. So
it's gorgeous. Go check it. It's there's an update that's got like the high res image of it. I think let me go sneak in there and see if I can't pull up that really good image of it. Here we go. Can we sneak it here? Here we go. So yeah, here's the high res. Awesome dragon, and red is as a knight and Gabe is a paladin. Super cool. Aaron Riley did this for us, so that cover is super good looking. Let's see, is that still? Oh, no, it's not showing the right tab, of course. Let's see, can I do that stuff? That one. Present the other one. Share screen. Okay, so here's the art for the new cover. So this is if you're getting the set with all 5 of them, this one comes with it. It's also one of the skins for the backpack, so you can swap those out. And I'll zoom in here so we can get a little bit of a closer look.
Nice.
Right? I mean, that's just a scary, I'll get out, undead, decaying dragon, kind of reaching out of the ground.
The real question I have is the story of Red and Gabe from the last images of the book has been updated, or
it has.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
100%.
That's the most important part for me. So we have a new slice of life from them at the end of the book.
There absolutely is. So yeah, so folks who haven't noticed, like if you starting in Suede, in the very back of Suede, at the last page of the index, there throughout Suede, there's little comments from the game master, who is one of their dads. And
I'm not sure if he's a dad or just a guy that is. I was under the impression that he's not a dad. He's someone who volunteers for the hospital to make children play. That was my
yeah.
my head canon.
Yeah, so there's the game master chimes in, and then Red and Gabe chime in, and you kind of figure out like that Red and Gabe are being played by two humans, and then at the very back of Suede, you find out who those two humans are, and it's a kind of a very touching, interesting
Hmm.
story. And then in the back of several books since, there's kind of been an update to that story as the story goes along, and so there is an update in the Fantasy Companion, and I think I think that I've seen one or two more past that. It's a gorgeous little bit of storytelling that Shane did.
Yeah, that I mean, you had me and other people invested in Red and Gab's life, but they're only purely imaginary characters. So
Right, and it's kind of this little story just told through images
yeah,
and little kind of quotes here and there from the kids. So
I loved it so much that Red is on the Fast Furious Fun February logo as well.
she is. That's an awesome picture of Red. I think let's show that as long as we're here. Let me go find. I should have pulled this up beforehand, but you did a great job of commissioning that work. It just looks really awesome. So we will end with showing that off. So let's see. Do I have the image? Can I pull it up in time? Here we go. So share screen. Boom. So yeah, here's the logo for Fast Furious February. Red riding a dragon, breaking a wall to create the exclamation point. Just fantastic. I love all the little details in here. Kind of like futurism, cyberpunk, a little like all-seeing eye, ancient artifact, the kind of cool temple look on the T, the potion and the O, the little bird over here is really kind of cute. Just like a lot of, I mean, I just love the art direction and the actual result of this. So,
Mhm. And what I love is the theme is only visible on 2023, which was Love and Death. So I'm actually going to commission a new year with the theme of that year every year. So that's going to be a work in progress as well.
oh, fantastic. So, folks, thanks for joining us. Join the Discord. The link's doubly in the chat. Get ready. So, fans, you got a month to prepare, save up a little cash to get into the Fast Furious SWAGtember. It'll be awesome. It's a really great group of creators. We really love seeing just how successful they become. If you are a new creator, head on over to SavageUniverse.com and check out the How to Participate tab at the top. It'll give you instructions on how to begin. We do offer free templates if you want to just get a one sheet out there. There's a template to help you in your kind of little InDesign kind of publication. I think there's also within the community. I think someone's done one for Affinity as well, kind of part of the program. So
if you want one for Scribus, I have some. So
nice.
send me a message. I can send you what I have for Scribus, and yeah.
Perfect. So a lot of love to be shared with the SWAG community. So yeah, folks. Again, Kickstarter will be back on 23 hours from now, tomorrow for the final hour of the Kickstarter. So I think we'll be reading your favorite Savage Worlds memories and kind of just sharing some exciting kind of upcoming news a little bit. You can ask your questions and maybe we'll do some spoilers and just like looking back at, oh my God, amazing campaign. 2,500 backers is just really great. So thanks for all the abundant enthusiasm and like the more than 20,000 in the last day or whatever. Like, that's fantastic. So folks, we appreciate you supporting us. We appreciate you supporting our creator community. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern for the final hour of the Kickstarter. But other than that, get out there, play some Savage Worlds. Appreciate you joining us all. Thanks for representing Richard on behalf of the SWAGtember.
It's always a pleasure being here.
And then congratulations on the platinum, sir. That is, how do you say platinum in French?
Platine.
Nice. Well, congratulations on the Platine. Awesome award. There's a very few creators who get their products that high.
I think it's about it's between 2 and 5%, if I remember correctly. If I think it's more like 2% of the creators that are platinum.
That's fantastic.
Not to brag about it, just a little bit.
It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, go out there, pick up Big Apple Silver Samurai. It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and better and more.
And don't forget to watch for Big Bad Wolf, which is the first supplement, and there's going to be another one called With Friends Like These coming in this month or next.
Oh, so you're going to participate maybe in the SWAGtember?
No, I'm probably not going to. I'm probably going to. Probably if I have to send it, it's going to be after September. I'm hoping, but I'm not getting my hopes up too much. Barming could be a SWAGtember next year.
Or your own Fast Furious February entry.
Yeah, but I'm already preparing stuff for Fast Furious February. Yeah, I already have some ideas, and I'm juggling with a few themes right now to make sure it's interesting.
I love it. Love to see it. So, folks, join the Discord. You can interact with Alb and Zadmar and all the other creators. I'm sure Christian is there to give some tips. And then we'll be back So after SWAGtember, then the big thing is we do the Swag Awards every year.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the first time creators who get involved with SWAGtember can become part of the Swag Awards by boosting their sales numbers. So get on it if you want to. If you want to be a creator, you got a month. So come up with a one sheet, come up with an idea, magical weapon, and a concept, cool character, whatever it is. Swag is really open to kind of your creativity. So. Join the Savage Worlds family, guys. The wild cards are cool, and welcoming. And yeah, we hope to see you.
We have cookies.
Right, we do. We need to get together and just have like a big love fest with food. And I'll decide where. Maybe Montreal, right? Like where we can do.
If you come to Quebec, come to actual Quebec City. We have a Comic-Con there, so I'll be there. Watching. I'll be there at Comic-Con if you ever want to come to see me. That will be my pleasure. If you
but we won't recognize you because we've never seen your face.
Yeah, but I'll make sure I'm. If you want to watch me in person, I'll not wear a mask, or maybe I'll come disguised as
That's
someone
cool.
I'll be the Mandalorian, so you won't be able to know what my face is. But if you ever want to come to Quebec. I'm sure I can. I'm sure they have lots of fun. We have a very, very active community in Montreal and Quebec. So maybe not what you'll see in Comic-Con in Indianapolis, but stuff like that. But we'd love to have you there.
So you hear here, folks. The Mandalorian writes for Savage Worlds. You heard it. Anyways, folks, appreciate you joining us. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. And other than that, enjoy your weekends and get out there and play some Savage Worlds. Cheers, folks. Thanks, all.